Okay, in this lesson we are going to create the audio player. Let's create a new class. Just click on the main package, right click, then choose Kotlin class file and type audio recorder class. Okay, so we have a new class. The main idea is that when we create an audio recorder class object in the main activity, we will pass the cache directory to play back the file we have just recorded. In Kotlin we can create it like this in the constructor, like value, and then write cache directory and specify the type. The type will be file. Press Alt Control to import the file class in our new file. So in the body of the class we will need several variables. Let's create them. The first variable is the media recorder itself. So let's type private val my media recorder and will be of type media recorder. Media recorder, it's right here, and it will be of course nullable, and by default it will be null so that we could save some system resources. Okay, the next we will need to check if the recorder is working. So let's create a private variable called isRecording. And give it false by default. And every time we record something, we want to have the last recorded file to listen to it. So let's create private var last recorded file, and it will be of type string, of course, string, and it will be nullable, and by default we will give it null. Okay, so let's think about what this class is going to do. First of all, we want to start recording, so let's type fun, call it start recording. No parameters in the constructor, and then define the body of the function. First of all, we check if the recorder is in progress. So is recording. Okay, sorry. If it's true, we will go out of the function. Alright, it's okay. And then let's create the output file. Let's call it output file, like this. And we are going to create the output file. output file. Okay. Well, we still don't have this function right now, but we're gonna create it later. So our last recorded file path, so let's define this one, last recorded file path, last recorded file. We will take our output file. Let's take our, yes, and let's type absolute path. It should look like this. Okay. And this function, we also will create the media recorder object, my media recorder. Let's call it media recorder. And then dot and apply. And right here, we need to add several functions to make this work. So the first one, we have to set the audio source. It's right here. And to set the audio source, just take a media recorder class, type audio source. Yeah, it's source, and choose microphone. Yeah, it is right here. Then type set output format. So we need to output format in int. Okay, it's very simple. Just type media recorder dot output format and then dot mpg4, I guess. We'll choose mpg4 for simplicity. And then we also need the audio encoder. Where is it? Yeah, it's right here. Also type media recorder class dot audio encoder and choose AAC. It's the common audio encoder. Well, I guess it's like it gives medium quality of recording, but it's not important right now. And the final step is to set output file. And here we need to pass output file, which is right here. Type output file dot absolute path. Absolute path. All right. So to make our audio recorder, media recorder work, we also need to try some functions, and let's wrap it into try catch. Try catch. So we need to prepare our recorder and then start recording, and then set is recording flag to true. It is true. And then in the catch section, we need to check any errors. Error. And will be of type input output exception. Check this one. Yes. And in the body section, let's write error dot print stack trace. It's okay. I guess we had the mistake because we, yeah, it's okay. Let's check. It was val here, and when you have val, you cannot change the value of this variable later. So we are done with this, and let's create our create output file function. Click right here, create function, create output file. Okay, we're good. And we have to give it file type. So this function will return a file. All right. We need to set the file name here. File name. Our file name will be a string. So let's call it my audio, and then underscore, and type maybe system time, something like that, to give it a unique name. System, just a second, just type $sign here, system dot count time in milliseconds. Yeah, it's a function, and then in the end type M4A. It should be a simple format for audio file, and then type return, and right here we need to return a file. So let's type a class file, and then type our cache directory, I guess, path name string. It's our cache directory. Where is it? Just a second. Yeah, it's right here. So it's a cache directory from our constructor. So cache directory, and then comma, and file name. It should be okay now. We are done with our create output file. Let's check what do we have here. Okay, we have to change this also to var. Let's check this one. Yeah, media recorder, it should be var. Okay, we are good. The next function will be to stop recording. Stop recording. Okay, when we stop recording, we need to check if the recorder is in the process of writing something. So if is recording, so if it's not recording, just return, and if it's recording, we need to use my media player, or my media recorder, I'm sorry, and then type a question mark because it's a nullable variable, and type apply to simplify our input. When we use apply, we don't have to use my media recorder dot sum function. Let's also type stop, and then you need to reset, I guess, reset the recorder, and then release, because media recorder takes a lot of resources from the Android system, and each time you stop recording, you have to release the resources of the file, I mean the memory of the system. So, and then when you release it, You also have to my media recorder, give it null by default, return the default, and when you're done with everything, you have to set the flag is recording to false, so we are not recording anymore. All right. What else? What else? Let's check. Since I want to play back the last recorded file, let's also create a function to play the last recorded file. Get last recorded file. And the path to last recorded file is a string, so let's make a string. Very nice. We need to return a string of last recorded file path, maybe. Just a second. Last recorded file string. Last recorded file, like this maybe. Okay, it's this one. Let me check. Last recorded file. Yeah, let's call it path maybe. So it's path. Okay, it's right here. Path. It's a string. So we have the last recorded file path, set the output file to absolute path, and when we want to get to the last recorded file, we use last recorded file path. Let's check what is the mistake here. To record string, it should be nullable. All right, it could be null. And okay, I guess we are okay for now. All right, that should work. Let's try to launch the audio recorder and see how it works. Let's open main activity and type okay, first of all, we need to get our buttons. Where is it? Just a second. Okay, let's find our buttons. Is it on create? Yeah, within the on create function, let's find our button. Type val a record. Just a second. Record button. Find view by ID. It's a function. So find view by ID. Yeah, it's image view, image button. I guess it's image. Let's check this one. Let's open the activity main, and then it's image button. So let's specify the type here, image button, yes, and then type R, it's resources dot ID, and in our ID let's find the button record. So this is our record button, and then let's type stop button and do the same. Find view by ID, it's image button, and then resources r dot ID dot button stop record. Okay, we are good now with the buttons. Now we can use those buttons to start or stop our recording. First of all, let's start our recording. So let's use record button, and then type dot and set on click listener. It's right here. And when we press the record button, these functions will be launched. First of all, we need to create audio recorder. Okay, we need to create the audio recorder object in our main activity. So to create the object, let's type val my media recorder. I'm sorry, it will be audio recorder. Recorder, and let's type the name of this class, audio recorder class. Yeah, it's right here. And also we have a constructor for this class, and just push Ctrl P to see what we need to pass. It's cache directory file. Okay. Let's skip it for now. Or maybe, okay, let's create maybe a cache directory. So, well, we need to find the cache directory where we store our files, our recorded files. And to find the cache directory, we need to use application context, and then use cache directory. So now we have the cache directory in this variable, and we need to pass this cache directory to our newly created object. Fine. Now let's go back to our record button and then type my audio recorder. Okay, and right here we need to start recording. Very nice. And also, when we start recording, we want to change the view of our button and make our record button invisible. So or just let me check, stop button dot visibility dot, is it visible or not? Let me check. Activity, image button, record, image button, it's invisible, so we need to make it visible in main activity visibility. Type the class for the view and then type visible. Alright, it's okay. So this button will start our recording and make our stop button visible so that we could click on it when we stop the recording. And then stop when let's use the stop button. dot set on click listener. Yeah, fine. We need to stop the recording, so type my audio recorder dot stop recording, and then return the visibility to our start recording, or to our stop. Yeah, okay. Invisible. Okay. Yeah, okay, it wasn't, it was, now it's visible, so let's make it invisible. So stop recording, stop button dot visibility, and then type view, and then type invisible. All right. And also, when we stop our recording, we want right after that we want to listen to our recording. It will be our last recorded file. So let's do this. Let's create maybe the file path. Okay, let me check this one. Get last recorded file string, get last recorded file, it should be string with a path. Okay, file path, and we will take this file path from our class my audio recorder dot get last recorded file. Okay, this get last recorded file, just press and hold Ctrl and click on it, and you will see it has last recorded file path. So, okay, and when you okay, what I want to do. Okay, next we're going to use my the media player, but we haven't created the media player class yet. So we will create, in the next lesson we will create a media player class and try to play back our file. So see you in the next lesson.